Bar.
Subscribe to GILESY and Steve.
Right, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This time it's a match preview for Millwall versus Sunderland down at the Den. However, before we get on to the match preview side of things, I think we all know what we're going to talk about. It's a pretty hot topic right now, the transfer window. Paul.
Oh my God. Where do we start?
Defeatist.
It was,
defeatist.
I tell you what, this window had the potential of being an absolute belter of a transfer window. We brought in 4 players in positions what we needed with Corey Evans being out. But the deadline day, everybody was getting hyped up thinking that we're going to bring in a striker or 2, and we brought in none. Before we get on, Stephen, this is what I want to say, right? Everton were in free fall well before the window. Ellis Sims was scoring any amount of goals, and you know, Speakman and co should have seen that and should have had in the mind that he's potentially going to get recalled here. Let's go out and start putting, what you say, irons in fires, so to speak, and see if we can get a few bodies in, just off the off chance the day we call him.
You kind of freaking looking at your crystal ball.
No, not exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's all, like you say, it's all ifs and buts, ifs and maybes, or whatever you want to call it.
If Stewart never got injured,
aye,
would you class this as a successful transfer window?
Yeah, I would.
Yes.
I would.
So you can't tell that Stewart's going to get injured. The way I'm looking at it is I've seen lots of people slagging down Speakman and whoever else who's good for not bringing in a striker. Aye. But I've also seen a lot of sensible people who share the same views as me. Not that I'm saying you're not sensible, but you know what I mean. You can't tell if no one knew that Stewart was going to get injured. It only leaves you a small period of time to get a player in. Right. And the way Sunderland do things, we've been there in the past where we've panic bought. Look, can I cast his mind back to Will Grigg? Oh. Bloody, you know what I mean? We don't
put a picture up.
We don't want to be back to things like that. We wanted to get the right player in for the right price. Right. The players we were trying to get might not have been available, and the ones that might have been available, because they knew we were desperate because Stewart got injured, they'll have ramped the prices up. So we're not getting taken to the cleaners, we're not getting mugged off.
Can I just ask you this, right? Stewart doesn't get injured, Gelhardt's in, would you still have wanted another striker in, truthfully?
In a perfect world, yes. But would I have been happy if we didn't, because we brought in Gelhardt and Lahadji? Yes, I'd have still been happy.
But that way you would have been greedy and wanted an extra one in.
That's what I would have wanted. I wouldn't have turned it down.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have turned it down, but if we didn't get another striker in and Stewart didn't get injured, I'd have still been happy, because we had Gelhardt, Stewart, and like I say, you've got Lahadji who can play there. You've even got that Thompson from the under-23s, if it ever needs to be, he can get brought in. We do have players who can play in that position.
Because Riggs not a recognised striker.
No, he's a centre midfielder.
Exactly. But like I was saying, Stephen, the social media has went into a bit of a meltdown regarding this situation. People say, writing the season off, saying we're never going to get the top 6. We've got a striker. We didn't have a striker when the lads put in a class performance like at the beginning of the season. We put loads of points on the board. We were saying on the live stream, it's not our.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm a bit defeatist when it comes to stuff like this.
A bit.
Just a bit. But like you say, it's not the end of the world that we haven't got another striker in. Joe Gelhardt, I do feel sorry for him. Very young. He's going to have plenty of minutes putting in them legs. Let's hope he doesn't burn out or he does pick up injury, because the lads will have to step up for the second time.
Well, I don't believe they're going to do it. We stepped up last time without any strikers. Now we've got a striker in place. Hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing happens to Gelhardt and he stays fit for the rest of the season. But like I said, the players we've got around them, when Pritch gets back, you've still got Ahmad, we've got Benoe, you've got Clark, you've got Roberts, we've got Lahadji. We do have players, young, promising players, that have already proven, the majority of them have proven what they can do at this level. So I'm still fairly happy. Yes, I would have liked to see another striker come in with Stewart getting injured, but I don't want to see Sunderland getting taken to the cleaners or being mugged off by teams because they think, oh well, the owner's a billionaire and they're desperate, so we'll charge what we want.
I can guarantee there'll have been a million, well, I'm not saying a million, but there'll have been lots and lots of clubs trying to push strikers onto us. And you know, they're not going to do what Stuart Donald done when he was sitting on the phone last minute. I'll give you 2, I'll give you 3, I'll give you 4. 7 million add-ons, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous.
I mean, last night, we did the live stream last night because we thought it was going to be a busy night. And it wasn't. It was just a night of me and him chatting shit and having a crack on with the people in the chat, which we appreciated, by the way.
Thanks very much.
Well, obviously, it got to a certain point where I was like, I need to go home.
I know.
Because I was in his house doing it. It was alright for him, but I was like, I need to go home. So I went home and I still stayed up until after 1 o'clock. Waiting to see that, guess what, are you still up? No. And obviously it never happened.
It didn't.
But it's also, you've still got to bear in mind, there's still some free agents out there. So if push comes to shove, we could look in that market. I mean, I know we've been there, done that, but Conor Wickham's only 29, you know.
No, no way.
No, I'm not saying I want him.
No,
but there is options out there, and like, they're not all dead and buried. But I'm happy with what we've got. Like, obviously, I'd have been happier if another side came in.
Definitely, mate. But you've got to understand as well, we're getting goals from all over the pitch, not just our strikers.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
yes.
And Mads chipping in, Clark scored against Fulham the other day, so we are creating chances and goals from other players, not just our strikers. So I wouldn't worry too much. And like you said about Joe Gelhardt, he's a similar player. He's a similar attacker to what we've got. Like, he's very technical on the ball as well, and he's got pace to burn. So
I think watching,
we should be all right.
I think we're going to be amazed watching. I mean, we already are amazed every week watching Robertson Diallo going down that side, and I reckon when they connect up with Gelhardt, it's going to be brilliant. I think it's going to be a joy to watch, like, even more than what it already is. And I think Gelhardt's going to hit the ground running, and I think he's going to score on Saturday.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do you know, that's the thing for me. Out of 10, what would you rate the transfer window then, Stephen?
Before Stewart got injured, I'd have said 7.5 out of 10.
I would give it a 8.
I would say 7.5 before Stewart got injured. Obviously, Stewart getting injured put a dampener on things, and people are now going to say it's been a bad window, poor window. We're bringing in 4 players, and with the calibre that we've brought in, you've got to try. I know we don't know much about all of them, but you've got to trust in what we've brought in so far, and you've got to believe that these players are going to be very similar. Like Anderson's a rising star from Everton, and obviously wasn't getting game time, so he's asked to leave, and he's come to us. Lahaji, he was a Golden Boy nominee. You've got Ekwa. West Ham fans are saying that he was a brilliant player for the Premier League under-22s. He just, in that position where he plays, he wasn't getting first-team opportunities.
He done well when he came on the pitch.
Yeah, and he's jumped at the chance to come here. So I'm happy with who we've brought in. Obviously, the Stewart things, that's just unfortunate. It's just Sunderland's luck.
That's what I'm saying. You can't really include the injury because it was off the ball incident. It could have happened, and it could have happened in the house. You know what I mean? It was off the ball incident. We brought in well, like you were saying about Ikwa and Elaji. He can play up there. Bennett can as well. I know we didn't sign Bennett then, but I've probably gone for 6.
Right.
6 out of 10. Just because we still wanted extra strikers in, regardless of
we did.
Joe Gelhardt coming in. And anyway, we still wanted that extra striker, and we didn't get any. So with Sims being out, we wanted 2. Stewart being out, we wanted 2. Sims didn't come. Frank Lampard shouldn't recall them. Didn't even use them, and then it's come back to bite us in the end, really.
We'll be all right, man.
Well, then we may as well move it on. The transfer window's done and dusted.
Glass half full, glass half empty.
Right, moving on to Fulham. People outside the ticket office now getting the tickets early. I hope it's going to be a big attendance. We've got to try and spur the lads on. After they did put in an absolute belter performance down at Fulham. Remember, Stewart went off injured that game, and we still could have went on and won it against a really good Premier League team. The 7th in the league. They had Mitrovic on and everything, and we still looked the better team near the end.
I mean, I'm gutted that it's on telly. Because some people will not go to the match and they'll watch it on the telly instead. But like I said, there is people there for the tickets got released at 12 o'clock today for season ticket holders. You see it's reserved until 12 o'clock tomorrow, dinner time. So if you want your season ticket seat urgently, then get it in today. The prices are, for those of you who don't know, is £15 for adults, £5 for kids, and £5 for over 65s.
It's cheap, really, considering it's a decent tie in Fulham.
But of course
home,
it is.
You know what I mean?
Of course it is.
It's a chance to progress.
Hopefully there's a big crowd there. Get behind the lads, act as the 12th man, spur us on to get that match against Leeds United.
So moving on into the league, we've got Millwall away. There's a few. Stephen knows the majority about this. He's going to crack on now, then, Stephen.
Yeah, well, like I say, Millwall, we played them 2 months ago at the stadium. It was supposed to be earlier, but obviously
battered them 3-0.
But we should have played them earlier. But obviously, Queen Elizabeth II passed away, so the game got cancelled.
Right.
So it was only 2 months ago we played them, and as he's just said, we battered them 3-0. Very comfortable from start to finish, and it was a joy to watch. It really was. I thought, for me, it was one of our best performances this season from start to finish. Since they played us, they've drew in the league. They've drew 2, won 3, and they've only lost 1. So they've been on a bit of a decent run since we played them. In the league overall, they're 1 place above us. They're 8th. We're 9th. They're 1 point ahead of us. I'd say they're 8th. We're 9th. I've just said that. They've got the 3rd best defence in the league. Yeah. Now, I mean, it doesn't bode well when you've only got 1 striker, but they'll not know much about Gelhardt. Nah. They'll have been prepared for Stewart. To
be honest, we didn't know much about Gelhardt.
Because they know it's been. I mean, I've seen him play for Leeds, and he's fast, he's flair, he likes. He's got a bit of skill about him. He's got something about him.
Pass as well.
Yes. So I can't wait to see me. Millwall, it is a tough place to go. It always is. The crowd are massive there, and they get behind the lads, and it can be quite an intimidating place if you allow it to be. They are playing well, and they'll be out for revenge because we hammered them. Players you've got to look out for, in my opinion, you've got Tom Bradshaw and Zian Fleming. They've got 7 goals and 10 goals respectively, and they've only got 1. Bradshaw's got 2 assists, and Fleming hasn't got any. So that shows that they might not be that much of a passing team when they get to the final third. But they're doing well. They've 10 goals and 7 goals is not a bad return for you two strikers. Charlie Creswell, we know a lot about him. We were linked with him, but he chose to stay on loan at Millwall. That's his choice. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist from defence.
That's good.
He is a good player. He's a young player. He's and
return.
he'll know Gelhardt. So he might be able to give them a bit of a heads up on Gelhardt, but hopefully he's got a few new tricks up his sleeve. And they've also got another defender who's absolutely huge, and that's Jacques Cooper. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists. He's a big lad. And Gelhardt's not the biggest, so it should be funny watching them. It should be like watching me and him stood next to each other.
I'll run circles around him, so I can imagine that's what's
It'll
going
be
to
a big circle running around me. And then obviously they've got 2 players that we've got to mention just because they're former Sunderland players. You've got George Honeyman. We know what he's capable of. He's like a Duracell bunny. He doesn't stop running. He keeps on going. This season he hasn't been that influential. He's only got a couple of assists and he hasn't scored no goals, I don't think. So he hasn't been doing that well, but he's still playing every game. So he must be doing something right to be kept in the team.
Nice.
And for those of you who don't know, they signed Duncan Watmore, aka the Roadrunner, from Middlesbrough yesterday. So for the 3rd time this season, we're going to be coming up against him. We know what he's like as well.
What's going to happen.
I remember saying, we used to say it, and Middlesbrough fans used to say it as well. 70% of the was it 70% of the world is covered by water, and the rest is covered by Duncan Watmore, because he just doesn't stop running. He runs all hour, and he can be a pain in the arse. But we also know that he's not that good when he's through on goal. No. He is capable of scoring, but hopefully he won't get none on Saturday.
Well, just reflecting back on the game where we played them at our place and we beat them 3-0 comfortably. I remember when it was 1-0 and they did have a really good chance to score, and I think it was Dan Neil that headed it off the line.
Yes, it was.
Dan Neil digging his defensive
He's one of our own.
He headed it off the line. And then, actually does. And then we went on to put on a very easy, comfortable performance from there on out. That's how I remember it, Stephen.
Oh, well, it was. It was a bit of a tough game. I think we were dominating it a bit, but then when we got that goal...
I think the second goal killed them.
Yeah. When Dan Neil done that goal line clearance, then it was us. We went forward and then we battered them. So, happy days. You know what I mean? I'd love to see a similar thing on Saturday, but...
Regarding the lineup, Stephen, I think it'll be more or less near enough the same, but apart from obviously,
but it can't be.
Stewart's out, Gelhardt in. We didn't note about injuries. We like to give you this.
Alicia went off injured on Saturday. I'll be surprised to see Alicia. He went off at half time injured.
But they said that it wasn't an injury though. At the time, they're saying it was just precautionary.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was injury.
I thought it was.
He went off precautionary the game before.
Oh, was it?
Aye, and then on Saturday he went off injured at half time. So does that mean Anderson's going to come straight in at left back, or is Huggins? Put Huggins in at left back, or is Cirkin's back?
I would put Huggins in personally.
We don't know Cirkin's back yet.
I thought Huggins done well.
We don't know, and then Huggins could play right or left. So for me, I'd stick Huggins in left and Hume in right, and then the rest of the team be the same, apart from obviously Gelhardt on for Stewart.
I thought Huggins done really good the other day. When he came on the left hand side.
Oh yeah.
He can play either side, like you said. He's predominantly right, but he can play left back. So
I remember him playing against Birmingham. He played the full game against Birmingham. He was absolutely class.
And I try Hume. That's his right back spot, and I cannot say Gooch getting it back at the minute because he's putting in
but that's what you want.
Excellent performance.
That shows as well with our recruitment how we've now got strength and depth in 90% of the positions on the pitch. I was looking today, and we've got at least 2 players in every position for every position, bar up front, because obviously Stewart's injured.
I would go for quick lineup, quick as you like. Patterson obviously in goal. Ballard, and Bart. I meant to say. I'd put Huggins at left back and Trey Hume at right back, and then in the middle I would go with, might not agree with, Dan Neil and Mitchell.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah. Me. I like to play it like. And then in the forwards positions would obviously have Clark, Ahmad, and Roberts with Gelhardt further up the pitch.
I'd have Gelhardt, not Gelhardt. I don't know who he is.
Gelhardt.
It's Gelhardt. There's an ED in the middle.
I said Gelhardt.
It's Gelhardt, not Gelhardt.
Gelhardt.
You keep him right. Let's have a quick in the comments. Does he keep saying Gelhardt or Gelhardt?
That's the way I speak. It's East End.
I'd have the same team as what he's just said. Funny enough, aye, that's the team I would.
I guess something's gone on here if we're both predicting the same lineups. But how do you say the game gone though, Stephen? I think it's still going to be a hard game.
I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think the Sunderland players at the minute were full of confidence.
They are.
The way we're playing, everyone's terrified of coming up against Roberts and Diallo at the minute.
And Hume likes to link
us up as well. And we are a joy to watch at the minute. I mean, we got put as performance of the day against Fulham. Even though we didn't win, we got put as performance of the day. on Match of the Day, they were saying our praises. Radio 5 Live was saying this isn't Championship football. It's not even low-level Premier League football. They were saying this is top-level Premier League football that Sunderland are playing,
wow.
and we were a joy to watch. And I cannot say us changing the way we're playing.
No,
because why would we?
Why would you want to?
The players want to play that way. The players are happy playing that way, and we're thriving in it.
Just remember, like some Sunderland supporters, are a little bit doom and gloom, a bit like me, but I'm
going to say
I'm not that bad, right?
Meet you, mate.
I'm not that bad, but just remember, only a couple of weeks ago, people were saying it's a joy to go into the matches again. We're watching some really good stuff. I'm excited to go into the game, and it looks good for the future and things like that. And just because we didn't bring another replacement striker and didn't think it's all over and done with,
why not?
Because it's not. These lads and these can push on. And why can't? Who's to say we can't get the top 6? Why can we not?
And you've got to remember, when we started this season, top 6 wasn't our ambition.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Staying up, and establishing ourselves was our main aim.
So we're overshooting at the minute.
Right. No, wait, aye.
We are.
We are now. Where in a perfect world, we'd like to have finished at the start of the season. But anyway, that's for a different story. That's for a different one. Score predictions. Paul was thrilled because we drew against Fulham. And Chris Rigg nearly got the winner, but bless him, it got pulled away from him.
I would have preferred him.
He pulled one back now, so the score prediction is 4-1. So the comeback is on, Paul. What do you reckon?
Am I going first again?
You can go first again.
Millwall away, I still think it's going to be a hard game. They've got a really good team. They've got some players who we recognise. Charlie Creswell, really good in defence. And scoring goals, so for me, it's going to be hard. I'm going to go for Sunderland 2-1, away win. Are you going to pick that?
Or was I?
Oh, let's hope it's it.
I'm going to go Sunderland 2-0.
2-0?
Even with the road runner, I just think our defence is too
strong. Well, he done out against us.
I think Ballard, Bart, Hume, and whoever's on the left, I just think our defence is solid. And Patterson's is playing brilliant at the minute.
Did you say Mitrovic, Bart tackle on Mitrovic? I tell you the other day on the stream, the ball come in, he just left loads on Mitrovic, and I was like, good on.
So I'm confident going into the game on Saturday. I think it's going to be a tough game. I'm under no illusions, but I'm just hoping we're going to be a bit too much with the way we play. Right. And I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, me and Paul will be doing a live stream on Saturday, so come along and join us. If those of you who've never seen, come along and have a crack. Those of you who have seen, there must be a reason you just keep coming back.
Aye, exactly. Aye, must be doing something.
Right, aye. Or we're just good to laugh at.
Aye, laugh at that. That's probably it. We're good to laugh at. Aye, but that's about it from now. We've covered everything.
Pretty much.
Hit the thumbs up.
Subscribe if you're new. We're the lads.